Get the Friendo Club set up today and get access to over 700 Going In Raw bonus episodes, our monthly Big Blue predictions challenges, and the ability to ask questions at Going In Raw. We also offer the Steven Larson comic book and exclusive Friendo Club t-shirt. Just hit join here at youtube.com/Steven Larson or go to patreon.com/Steven Larson to sign up. Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. On today's episode, the Smackdown after WrestleMania is on the docket. Should be a good one. They actually lately the Smackdowns haven't been all that great. And I thought it took a Smackdown after Mania to bring some heat to a Smackdown. I thought it was
to an episode of Smackdown. Stuff happened. The main event was fantastic.
A bunch of stuff happened. The main event was awesome. That match really should have been at WrestleMania.
It should have been. It absolutely should have been. Yeah. I mean, I guess the argument could be made that the match got a main event Smackdown after Mania, but no, you want to be on the WrestleMania card, and that match totally 1,000% should have not main event WrestleMania, but been on the Mania card.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Fuck it.
Heck, if you put one of the main events, it's better than John Cena Cody Rhodes match, so fuck it, main event WrestleMania.
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, we're going to talk about all of that. Where do you want to start? Because like you said, a lot of stuff did happen.
Yeah, I guess we could start with let's start with this. We assumed that was going to be the case coming out of Raw this week after Randy Orton hit John Cena with an RKO.
Mm-hmm.
Confirmed. They're having their match at Backlash in St. Louis, Randy Orton's hometown. John Cena opened the show. Randy immediately after interrupted him. A long back and forth that ultimately led to Randy finally taking umbrage with John Cena about saying he was going to ruin the pro wrestling business, saying, my family's been in this business for 3 generations, and I'll be damned if I'm going to let you ruin the wrestling business. Let's have a match now. John Cena says, no, I want to do it in St. Louis in front of your family. Humiliate you in front of your family. Put on a god-awful match in front of your family. So it's made official for Backlash.
Yeah. This will be very interesting, especially now, given the discourse, largely online, but I mean, where else are they supposed to get it? Regarding the main event, if what we saw in the Night 2 main event is what John Cena and company and the creative staff there at WWE wants to do for the wrestling matches, it's going to be kind of a problem.
Sure. That's the word.
It's
sure.
Gonna be it's going to be a problem for them. It's going to be a bigger problem for us because we got to sit through it.
I know, because even Randy Orton at his best wrestles a very deliberate pace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if John Cena's doing this thing where he's purposely putting on unentertaining matches, combine that with Orton's meticulous, deliberate pace of his match.
Yeah.
This could be an hour-long match with all of 10 moves over the course of the entire bout.
Yeah.
The rest is headlocks and stuff like that. We could have 3 minutes of headlock during the course of this bout. If that's the aim, is to do something that's kind of purposely bad.
Yeah.
This will be the real litmus test to see, one, if that's actually the direction. Because you can't think of a better person to put on a potentially boring wrestling match than Randy Orton. Mm-hmm. And look, Randy's been doing fantastic work over the last, 5 years.
Yeah.
He's invested. He's motivated. You can tell he's having a really good time.
He was having a blast out there with Cena tonight.
He was. And he has put on some good matches.
Mm-hmm.
But prior to those the most recent 5 years, there was a bit of a drought where if Orton wasn't doing anything that seemed of interest to him,
he
seemed a little checked out.
I guess the bigger question might be, there are rumors that Travis Scott is going to actually get into the wrestling arena in terms of doing an actual match, a tag match with Cena. I think the latest rumor is Cena and him versus Bad Bunny and Cody, I think is one of the rumors out there. I thought Meltzer said that. Maybe it was Fightful. Shit, now I got to source it. Sorry. I thought you were going to
Yeah,
be like,
I
yeah,
haven't
that's
seen
what
that,
so-and-so said. Anyways, so regardless, if he has ends up having a tag match with Cena or even a solo match, I guess, is he going to be the constant reason that Cena is now able to win matches? How is Cena going to get out of this, given that he had such a gnarly record in advance of his heel turn, and the reason why he beat Cody was Travis Scott? Is he going to find other ways to cheat? Are they going to rely on Travis Scott showing up at all the premium live events like he's his own John Cena's personal bloodline for Roman Reigns?
Yeah, you don't want, although maybe they do, given the tact they're taking with this. You don't want it to be formulaic, but then again, maybe that's the idea, is that
Oh, God.
you want to make it as unentertaining as possible. Copy paste.
Yeah, dude, I don't know, man. I look, yeah, I mean, if that's the goal, but Jesus. The promo tonight was really fun. You could tell Cena was trying to make Randy Orton laugh, and I think Orton was trying to make Cena laugh with that parenting line.
Oh,
you
yeah,
need
yeah,
some
yeah.
kids. And I think, dude, I have no idea. And I'd love to know how much of that was pre-planned between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
I suspect it would not shock me. I'll put it that way. It would not shock me if Cena got that from Orton fresh and turned it around the way he did on the crowd. You know why I'm not a parent? Because I've been raising all of your kids for 25 years.
That's good.
He seems so gleeful with that line.
You know what? Tonight, it seems like John Cena just watched Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory before going out there tonight. Yeah. He was channeling Gene Wilder's performance in that movie. Yeah. He has previous to tonight, but there was a lot in it tonight.
He seemed to be having, I don't know, maybe it's the pressure of the Mania build, I don't know, but maybe it's being with Orton, maybe the pressure's off a little bit. He seemed to be much more understanding of his character. This is like, I don't know, think about a month. What actually he kind of reminded me of tonight was more Planet champion Daniel Bryan.
Mm.
Because, Bryan, whenever he was doing those promos, running everybody down for being consumers, he always had that half smile going. Like, this dude knew what he was saying was hilarious. And John was the same way tonight.
Yeah, I guess I should say in the cadence of his delivery tonight.
Oh, yeah, the Wonka stuff was there, too.
Yeah, there was a line especially he said.
You can tell he's getting it from Wilder,
Yeah, there's a line towards the end of it especially. And I always... But the comparison to Planet's champion, Daniel Bryan, is a good one, too, because you could tell every time he was saying something, he was just trying not to laugh because he thought it was funny. Like we made Fresno cheer for being the most polluted city in California.
Yeah, that was great.
Brilliant.
But no, running down Randy Orton. Oh, great. I just had a 6-year-old flip me off. Give me the bird. And, Randy was just crying. I mean, Randy was laughing half the time he was out there anyways. He's having a good time. I'm just curious from a storyline perspective what heel John Cena is going to look like if they... Look, if he goes according to plan with that last match, then we kind of have an idea. Even if you don't use Travis Scott, there are other ways you can, be a boring heel to beat Cody Rhodes. But I wonder if he's going to lean into... And let me ask you this. I know you're tired, and I know this is a tough one. I'm tired too. If we see a bit more pep in his step tonight as this version of John Cena, how could that playfulness potentially be infused into a cheaty win by a heel?
You know what he should do is the whole time he and Randy have that match, to reference that time that he and Randy had a match and Randy hit the ref, just act like numerous times, I'm going to hit the ref right now. But don't actually do it except till maybe the end,
I didn't you say, was it on, where did you give the idea that instead of, it was one of our shows, I think it was during the questions section, somebody asked, should they reference that? Because Randy, if people don't know what we're talking about, they had a match ages ago where Randy Orton slapped the ref tosses it out as a DQ, Cena wins, but Orton keeps the title, and Orton thinks that he's hilarious. Well, you had the idea the other day, you give the ref an AA, put him in the STFU.
Yeah.
For like, furthering that segment along, furthering that idea along.
Yeah.
Another ref runs down and they're hesitant to call the match a DQ because this is a main event title match. And he just keeps annihilating all the refs.
See, the problem with that, though, is that's entertaining, Steve.
Yeah, I know. But like, I honestly think at a certain point,
they can't do 7 months of heel Cena doing unentertaining matches.
They
like
can't.
this.
If
that's the idea, I feel like after the Orton match, that's it. Because you run the risk if it's like an hour, even 40 minutes of rest holds.
Yeah, you can't
slow,
do that.
uninteresting, boring wrestling. People are going to be done with it. Even if you could appreciate the motivation with what John Cena is trying to do from a character perspective, at the end of the day, if you're not bringing anything interesting in the ring,
yeah, nobody's gonna be into that. I really think that's not gonna be the case. I hope they put something together that's clever and still gets to his point, because I think you can do that. I think you can get to his point and do something that is, and who knows, maybe the response to the main event will prompt Cena to kind of, and the creative staff there to rethink how they're going about that. And honestly, we have no idea still what really the backstage shenanigans were when it comes to The Rock and how they had to change things up or not change them at all, or whatever the situation was. It could be that idea for the match was something that they didn't have time to think all the way through. I don't know. I mean, according to I think Meltzer, who seemed to be accurate about most of this stuff, they knew weeks in advance, and he had told them months in advance that he wasn't going to be at WrestleMania. And as of 2 weeks before WrestleMania, he had reiterated he wasn't going to be there. They knew he wasn't going to be there.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much credence there is to that theory, but it's WrestleMania, a unique situation, lots of moving pieces. Maybe they'll find an entertaining way to be not entertaining, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah. A clever and interesting way to be not entertaining, as opposed to just putting on bad, boring matches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we had a return and a debut tonight on SmackDown, as expected, because they advertised it last week. Alistair is back with his theme song. He didn't get a Def Rebel theme. Got his old NXT theme, which is great to hear.
And they took the creaking out, too.
They did, but otherwise, he had the platform. He's raised up with candles, all that, yeah.
I thought that was awesome. If you'd like, we can zoom him in. I mean,
I don't think that's necessary. Maybe when we're talking about the actual segment, but we don't need to do that now.
Okay, all right. I'll
we don't have to.
No.
Also, Fraxium got called up to the main roster. They're on SmackDown now.
Were you surprised they didn't do this for the draft?
So maybe the draft ain't happening for a little bit. I had a thought. Maybe they're saving the draft when SmackDown goes back to 2 hours.
Oh, that could be. Oh, that would actually make a lot of sense. That would make sense because they do the 2 for 3 thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That totally.
Right now they'd have to do equal.
I never did
picks per show.
I never actually got that confirmed by anybody but you. This could entirely just be a troll from you.
What No, it's news. Look it up. It's real.
News.
It's news.
It's news. Look it up. Look, I trust you. I'm just telling you, I never bothered to look it up myself. So I exclusively got that from you. If you're fucking with me, I'm gonna be pretty upset.
I mean, I could have imagined it. Could have misremembered something. I could have.
I'm not gonna be very
thought
happy
of it in a dream.
Wrestling news.
Thought it was real.
There you go.
A couple other noteworthy things, and then we get to the breakdown of the show. Zelina Vega, new U.S. champion, after getting the win over Chelsea Green in a good match.
The Budgeon household is eating well, man. Zelina Vega got that United States Championship. Good for her. The road that she's been on with the WWE has been kind of a bumpy one, but she's consistently one of the more cheered wrestlers that they have in the women's division. And there's obviously a lot of hard work involved with that. So that's awesome for her.
Yep.
That paid off.
Exactly. Okay, this is straight from Triple H here. SmackDown's going back to 2 hours.
What? That's all he's. What was the like? Where was this? When was this?
You're making me click on a thing. It's from Fightful.
Oh, good. Okay.
So first,
was it April 1st? This wasn't April 1st, was it?
No, it was first. It was WrestleVotes, and then McAfee asked him about it.
Okay.
on the show, and he says for now it's 3, but then it's going to switch back to 2. So, and it was Brandon Thurston who said 2-hour format beginning in June. So I did not make it up. It's real news.
Can you send me the links to that?
Links. I can send you a link because that's what I clicked on.
Send me a link. Just I want to read it myself, see if there's any fine print there. You know, because I don't know. You could just be looking off screen like you're looking at something else and just telling me this, and all the people here that are watching with us.
Link to prove I'm right in the subject.
I'm right to prove I'm right.
Send.
Hey, I've never seen anything more true than this. Aval says these two need couples therapy. Boy, you got that right.
No, that's why we play basketball.
Exactly. We play basketball. Take out our frustrations on the court.
Exactly.
Oh, man. Anyways, before this gets even more out of hand, Larson, let's go ahead and talk about the sponsors for the show today.
Let's do it. Let's take a quick break to get a word from our sponsor, Mint Mobile. Steve,
yes.
Been talking about this all week, and it seemed to be settled, and now it's not, so I'm confused. Is it data or data? Which one is it?
I don't know, man. I looked it up again today. I had the link for that.
Send me the link. I want to see it.
But I don't have it anymore.
All right.
So I'm sorry. I don't know.
I guess regardless how you say it, I thought it was totally normal to pay a fortune for my monthly data plan. That is until I found out that Mint Mobile's premium wireless plans start at just $15 a month.
That's correct, man. And with Mint Mobile, you can say goodbye to those outrageous monthly bills and unexpected overages. You see, all Mint Mobile plans come with high-speed data, and unlimited talk and text, all on the nation's largest 5G network. And you can bring your own phone and keep your current phone number and all your existing contacts.
So ditch overpriced wireless and get 3 months of premium wireless service from Mint Mobile for $15 a month. No matter how you say it, data, don't overpay for it. Shop data plans at mintmobile.com/raw. That's mintmobile.com/raw.
Upfront payment of $45 for a 3-month 5 gigabyte plan required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Then full price plan options are available. Taxes and fees are extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
And let's get a word from our sponsor, NordVPN. Steve, you cut cord, yes?
Yeah. Oh, cord, consider it cut.
And you're happy with your decision?
Extremely happy. I'm not just happy, I'm ecstatic.
That's good to hear.
I'm saving a bunch of money, man. I got that Star Trek thing coming up next weekend. Maybe we'll put this money into that. But here's the thing. Before I cut cord, I had to make sure I could still watch NXT and Smackdown because of job. With NordVPN, I can change my virtual location, so confirmed, I do catch NXT every Tuesday and Smackdown every Friday. NordVPN is also the fastest VPN in the world, so that means no buffering, no lagging, and it also stops my ISP from throttling my bandwidth.
And that's not all, Steve. NordVPN also keeps your private online data, I'm talking about passwords and bank details, safe, and offers premium cybersecurity for the price of a cup of coffee a month. Their threat protection feature keeps you safe from viruses, malware, and phishing sites. Plus, one NordVPN account can be used on up to 10 devices.
To get the best discount off your NordVPN plan, go to nordvpn.com/raw. Our link will also give you 4 extra months on the 2-year plan. There's no risk with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. The link is in the podcast episode description box.
And this episode of Going in Raw is sponsored by BetterHelp. I've spoken quite a bit about my own experience going to therapy here on the show. And while therapy did help me learn the tools I needed to better cope with the severe anxiety I was dealing with in my mid-20s, I also found out that in-person therapy can get very, very, very expensive with session fees adding up fast. But with BetterHelp, therapy can feel more accessible and not like a luxury.
Yeah, BetterHelp offers quality care at a price that makes sense. With BetterHelp, you pay a flat weekly fee for sessions, saving you big on cost and time. Your mental health is worth it, and now it's within reach.
Plus, BetterHelp is completely online, making therapy far more convenient. 20 years ago when I was going to therapy, I had to get in my car and drive in LA traffic to get to my appointments. But with BetterHelp, you can join a session with the click of a button so you can fit therapy into your busy schedule. And you can switch therapists at any time.
Your well-being is worth it. Visit betterhelp.com/raw today to get 10% off your first month.
That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/raw.
We're going to get to the breakdown of SmackDown in here just a moment. But first, Larson, I always love, whether it's getting over 200,000 subscribers or some other time. Or passing 500 friendos in one predictions challenge. I love finishing a story. It's the best thing. And this past Thursday, unbeknownst to us, we weren't even paying attention. We finished one very, very awesome story. And of course, for months, we have been angling, trying our damnedest, months, years actually, ever since WWE has started adding streamers' reactions.
Well, to be fair, we haven't really tried that hard.
To their programming. You know, we've practiced sometimes. Sometimes we've been sitting here during the live streams. Don't look at me like that. We did. We're like, okay, Larson, what's your reaction for this?
It's always tongue in cheek. It wasn't serious practicing.
Oh, you might not have been serious.
Oh.
But the problem
since we didn't get it on WWE, it's my fault now, huh?
The problem is, I don't want to say it, but the blame game will be played no more because we finally finished our story.
Did it in spite of me, apparently.
Yes. Thursday on TNA, they showed streamers' reactions to Joe Hendry, their champion, showing up at at WrestleMania against Randy Orton. And they caught me saying, so I'm going to recreate this for people who didn't see it. Oh, shit. I cursed. Because I always thought that was the thing that might keep me from getting on there and me cursing.
Not TNA.
Not in TNA. They don't give a fuck. They don't give two fucks.
Nope.
We made it. Ladies and gentlemen, we did it. We finished the story. We're the best. Somebody asked earlier, because the new Cena graphics.
Yeah.
Are we trying to ruin pro wrestling? We've been ruining pro wrestling. I'm sorry. Are we trying to ruin pro wrestling podcasts? We've been ruining pro wrestling podcasts since 2014.
Since day one.
Since day one-ish. Speaking of which, we also have new merch. You can see I'm wearing this You Can't Steve Me shirt. We've got a whole line.
That's a hat in your head, not a shirt, pal.
Can confirm it's a hat, not a shirt. I got the You Can't Steve Me hat on my head. And we also have a shirt. It's a John Cena homage shirt. Not actually John Cena on here. No. As you can see, it's Steve here with his CM Punk Signature Series title that he paid way too much money for on a credit card. And you can get this right now. You get this You Can't Steve Me hat and the Wrestle Juice Steve 2025 shirt at friendoshop.com. Use code Friendo2024. And I have, by giving half of the proceeds to Larson, procured his endorsement of this product. Larson, please talk about this product.
That shirt on Steve's head is one of the finest looking designed shirts I've ever seen. If I were to wear a shirt on my head, it would be that one.
Look, that's gold. It's gold right there. It's gold. What else do I have written down? Oh yeah, for those of you who want it, those of you who need it, you want to know how you did in the predictions challenge, all 563 of you guys. Well, the form is available right now. The results are available. Go to patreon.com/Steven Larson. If you are still a member over there, then guess what? You can check out the form. If you're no longer a member, I don't know what to tell you. You can go also.
Well, I don't tell you. Become a member again.
It's also up on the membership tab there on the YouTube channel. So, hopefully.
Just to be clear for the audio crowd, because they can't see Steve.
Yeah.
He's got a hat on his head. It's not a shirt.
I have a hat on my head, but I mistakenly called it a shirt because the shirt is the main thing in the deal.
Yeah.
Anyways, oh man. Aren't you happy this fucking 2-week WrestleMania season thing is done with now, almost, with this episode?
Get back to our normal routine.
Yeah. So anyways, this was long. We'll talk about SmackDown here. John Cena opened the show, comes out. Oh, by the way, shout out to Chris Garrix for doing the notes. He texted me a little bit late, like, I don't know, a half hour into the show. He was like, hey, man, my job kept me a little bit late. Try to catch up on these notes. I hope the opening segment isn't long. And I was like, are you joking? It's John Cena and Randy Orton talked a lot. So anyways.
We don't have to do this verbatim. We can just kind of do bullet points.
Oh, yeah. No.
Oh, I thought you were saying, oh, no, we're doing this verbatim.
No, we're not. We're doing, this is the most bullet pointed. So anyways, Cena comes out. I'm sorry. Randy Orton comes out because John Cena, he has like the ring announcer do a thing. And he says, Orton says, you know what I found out a couple days ago? He said, it'll be 25 years to the day that we shook hands. And in that time, you've always lived by those words, hustle, loyalty, respect. It was your mantra. He said, so I had to rack my brain to see that there was something inside of you, a void that needs fulfillment. He mentions the Make-A-Wish stuff. He was like, you know what? All these generations of kids looked up to you. Surely it meant something to you. He says, you granted more wishes than anybody in history. He said, you can't say that's just a number. He says, but I figured out how to fill that void. Take it from me, John. You need to have some damn kids. And he's like, they change your life. You'll be a better human being. John says, how dare you? How dare you come out with a smile under the guise and make me feel better and then parent shame me in front of the world? That term was meant to make Randy crack.
Yeah.
Parent shame.
Yeah.
He says, congrats. You have children. You love them. Good for you. You want to know the real reason why I don't? And then he turns to the crowd and says, I've spent the last 25 years raising yours. He says, by the sound of it, I've done an impeccable job. Here's the truth. For the last 25 years, I've been a better parent to your kids than you ever could. And he looks to a specific kid there in like the, I don't know, 5th row. That's right, kid. Your dad's a loser. Then he turns back. He says, oh, great. A 6-year-old just gave me the finger. Very classy. That, sir, is why I don't have kids. I have policed brats for a quarter of a century. And so then Randy says, you know what? The Hollywood rot's gotten to your head. The fans are the reason you're here. The fans are the reason I'm here. You're in Hollywood. He says, without WWE, there's no Hollywood. Without WWE, these fans aren't here. He says, they're the reason you're standing here with me now. He says, I've made a lot of mistakes. I had a long journey, but I can hold my head up high and get respect. I have a piece of furniture here. I'm here to stay. You're just a guest. And John says, we all have our perspectives. I believed yours. I used to think we won together. I was wrong. We didn't win anything. I did. I never needed any of these people. They'll chant, let's go Cena. Cena sucks. He says, I just called out a random. I just told a random that he sucks. And he turned pale white. Imagine being told they suck for 25 years. Calls him a hypocrite. Mentions the manipulation thing again. He says, I get criticized and labeled as an outcast, a guest for simply trying to do something different. Randy says, you know what? I was so stupid. He does a stupid thing. He says, Cody's intro says wrestling has more than one royal family. He's not talking about just his. He's talking about mine as well. Wrestling has been my whole life. It provided for me, and it will until I'm dead in the ground. You won't ruin wrestling for me. John says, shut your mouth. I already won 17. You won 14. He says, but after I take this home, you are forever frozen at 14. Yeah, there's another show with another tinfoil title that'll decide a champion. If you're lucky, you get your hands on it. He says, but when I leave here, I will make sure 3 generations of your family is erased.
When he says, if you get your hands on it, your counter starts over. And that's the line he really delivered like Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
That was
so Randy says, well, if you're the last real champ, prove it right here, right now. And then Cena says, no, we're going to do it in St. Louis in your hometown so that you're at your best because I want to beat you at your best. Yep. And then Cena attacks Randy with the mic. He goes for a title shot and Orton ducks it, hits an RKO. Later on, more John Cena was seen walking with Truth backstage. And Truth, doesn't realize that Cena's been a bad guy, so Cena just stares at him, walks off. Jimmy Uso walks up, says, when did Cena become whack? Truth says, there's 2 sides to every story. When I grow up, I want to be just like him. Jimmy says, you're already grown up, though. Pretty funny.
As mentioned, Alistair is back in the WWE, so let's go to where that all happened. So The Miz is in the ring, and he talks about not being a part of WrestleMania, being upset about it. Talked about, of course, main eventing WrestleMania, beating John Cena. Says, I've been here 20 years. What do I have to do to get a Mania match? They He says, Kevin Owens goes down. Randy needs an opponent. Do you want a guy who's beaten him for the WWE Championship? No, you want an internet meme, a TikTok trend. I'm sick of it. Sick of people showing up who can't lace my boots. Sick of them getting every chance. I'm the A-lister. I'm the most must-see WWE superstar. I am the Miz, and I am, before you can say awesome, lights go down. Candles. Alistair rises up on that platform on the ramp, walks down the ring, does the leap over the rope. Miz about to say, who the hell are you? And then Alistair hits him with the black mass and then sits next to Miz. And that match is happening next week. We're getting that next week.
Then he got on the mic and he said, "Bring me Big E. I'm not finished with him." And they're like, "Dude, I don't know what to tell you, but, sad. Guy can't wrestle anymore." And he's like, "Fine, I'll take Miz." So, like, with Rusev, they're giving him, like, Alpha Academy.
Yeah.
Alistair gets Miz.
Mm-hmm.
Not the hottest start.
No.
But I'm sure Alistair. Who's going to be Alistair? I know we're probably going to get this in the questions. So I was going to ask.
First, like, real feud?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it could be The Miz.
No. It could be. Because, like, one thing we missed here was prior to this, The Miz gave Carmelo Hayes.
Oh, yeah, I meant to copy and paste it up and put it in there, too, yeah.
A big gold chain with Andre the Giant's head on it.
Yeah.
Very nice gift. Carmelo Hayes was very touched by that. Given that Carmelo Hayes, until is proven otherwise, is currently the Dolph Ziggler of the promotion.
I don't know. The Miz facing the returning superstar? That's Dolph territory. Squarely Dolph territory.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I just view Miz more of like Otis territory.
I mean, Miz, the veteran.
I know.
Anybody
I understand.
who comes to the company, either return or a debut. Here, let's put him in a program with Miz.
There's got to be somebody better, man. So you think this is going to be more than one match?
No, I don't. I was just suggesting it. But I wouldn't be surprised if after Alistair defeats Miz, then Mello comes to the ring to defend Miz's honor.
That's what I was thinking.
And then they get into a program, which unfortunately Mello's going to lose.
Making him basically the Dolph Ziggler of the company. The guy sells just like Dolph.
Yeah, I know. I mean, in terms of being like the person on the roster you can have a good match with just about anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, in that respect, the analogy with Dolph, I understand. But Miz kind of fills that role, too.
Let me ask you this.
In terms of being the person they have the people returning or debuting in the company. Feud against what?
What is Alistair's first loss?
I mean, he's lost before in WWE, so it wouldn't be his first one.
Well, okay. Upon his return.
Drew McIntyre.
That was going to be my answer as well. Moving on.
We're in agreement. Fraxium's on SmackDown. Get a video package about Fraxium being on SmackDown. It's very exciting. Hopefully they continue their story of them not being friends.
And hopefully they'll change the story of Los Garza never getting their finishing move off.
They hit it off the second rope.
Nope. Different thing. I don't know why.
Same name.
I know.
It looks very similar.
It's a different thing, dude. It's a different damn thing. Go back and watch that finisher. It's way cooler when they're just standing.
Yeah, I know. They did it off the second rope, and they were like, oh, they hit their finisher. I'm like, it looks different. But it was close. It was a close enough move.
No, I mean, I think in theory it's supposed to be the same thing, but like, dude, when they hit it on that one Pretty Deadly guy, oh my God damn, that thing was rough, and we never saw it again.
Yeah, I
saw
it
once
for a while.
Never again. You should
get that GIF of them doing the move on your phone, so whenever you think about it, you can just look at it and watch it.
Hey, that's a great idea, actually. I would put it up as like an alert box GIF here, but evidently those are getting taken down now.
Yeah.
I had to change them all to stupid Steven Larson GIFs, which are also very entertaining.
Anyways, Fraxium gets the win here. It's a really fun match.
Yeah, dude.
They hit the Spanish Fly, Phoenix Splash combo, not the Brain Buster or Golden Ratio combo, to get the W. We also found out that Bianca's injured. She has an interview with Byron backstage. She's got a couple of her fingers in splints and wrapped up. She says, my fingers hurt and my feelings are hurt. Just kidding. But I did break a couple fingers. but I'm proud of what we accomplished at Mania. Io found the right chance to capitalize, but Rhea slipped her way into the match and won't be the last time I see her. But right now, I'm just focusing on healing. And when I return, I think she's said something along the lines of, like, there's like a house divided or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I got some unfinished business, referring to Jade and Naomi.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, you know what? Bianca, Io, and Rhea have that all-important 5-star match now, thanks to Dave Meltzer. The most.
We gave it a 5-star match like 5 days before, or 5-star rating 5 days before. Why aren't you putting over our star rating, Steve?
This is how our Friday is going, dude. Alistair's lost in WWE before, idiot. I was going to say, Larson, we reacted to Dave Meltzer's star ratings today over at the Friendo Club Wrestling channel. We reacted to those other guys. Oh, man. You're cracking me up today, dude. Anyways, oh, God, we got to talk about Tiffany Stratton now. I think I've realized I'm just over her. You know, man, I'm sorry. I see Chelsea Green out there and all the charisma that she has, and I'm like, God damn it, they should just, but she's like, you know, what, I don't know exactly how old she is, but she's probably like 10 years older than Stratton.
Could be.
And it's like, that's the reason why. Because, like, Chelsea's got so much talent in her little finger, and then Tiffany comes out there and drops a promo, and I'm like, ah. Anyway, she comes out. She says, what time is it? It's Tiffy time. I went toe-to-toe with one of the GOATs. Charlotte Flair, I can't lie. There was a moment I doubted myself, but in the end, I prevailed, and I walked out. Still champion. She said, I was always told, Tiffy, you're the next Charlotte. Wrong. There may only be one Charlotte, but there's only one Tiffany Stratton. And then, thank God, Jade Cargill's music hits. Yeah. She says, cut the shit. She said, I came here to give credit where it's due. Your match was very impressive. They did nothing, though, but create a bigger target on your back. And since business is done with Naomi, I got nothing but time. So I need to remind everyone why I came here to WWE. It's time for everyone to see I came here to be a champion. You need to understand that because you beat Charlotte. You aren't the best, especially since you haven't faced me. So, to her credit, Tiffany says, put your money where your mouth is. And we had a match right here, right now.
We did. And they gave this match plenty of time.
Dude, Jade Cargill in a solo match got a "This is awesome" chant. Mm-hmm. That was awesome. That was cool.
When she reversed that Alabama slam into the powerbomb, that was awesome.
Fucking sick, dude.
That was so cool.
That was awesome. Yeah, no, that was really terrific. Both Tiffany and Jade put on a really good match. Tiffany is a terrific performer. In the ring, she's a terrific performer. Yeah. I'm just not a huge fan of her character. I'm just not. It's just one of those things.
Currently, it really doesn't seem to be resonating.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we got a DQ finish here, but that's kind of expected.
And we got two of those tonight.
Yeah. There's a superplex spot. Both Jade and Tiffany are selling. Naomi runs to the ring and attacks Jade. I believe they officially ruled this a no contest. Yes,
that would make sense.
Ruled a DQ.
That would make sense. Yeah.
So Naomi's attacking Jade, screams at her and laughs, throws in the post a couple times. Tiffany gets back in the ring. Her and Naomi have a stare off. Naomi leaves, and Nia Jax appears to attack Tiffany. Hits an Annihilator, grabs the belt, and raises it up. So it looks like we're going to get Tiffany against Nia at Backlash, I would guess. Later on, Naomi's backstage. Nia walks up to her and says, I don't care about this Jade thing, but when it comes to titles, stay out of my way. And then Naomi says, as long as you proceed with caution.
Naomi is such a wonderful comic book character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she does like a little, like she goes big with the character. As long as you proceed with caution.
Yep. Yep.
I love it. God, I love it. Like her outfit, the all caution tape now. Yeah. Oh, dude. She is terrific. She is absolutely terrific. And then in the main event, of course, we had the TLC match for the WWE tag titles. Shout out to Chris Garrix for all these wonderful notes.
Oh, this match was insane.
But this was just the thing. You got to go see this shit. It was awesome. This match was great, and it should have been on WrestleMania.
Should have main evented WrestleMania.
Should have main evented night 2 of WrestleMania.
Yeah. Main event night 2 was poop.
Look at that. We're in agreement now.
This was fantastic.
Back on the same page, you and I.
Look at us.
Look at us.
Street Profits had some awesome Shawn Michaels inspired gear.
Yeah, that was sick.
I imagine it was probably the gear I think it's the gear he wore in the first Razor Ramon ladder match.
I would think so, probably. He wore the powder blue in the second one.
He did. He
did. Awesome.
It's a fantastic match. We had Dawkins hitting a spear on Ciampa while he's holding on to the thing that holds the belts up through a table while Motor City Machine Gun is this watch on. Montez does this crazy blockbuster, doomsday blockbuster, where he jumps out of the ring, does like a tope essentially, hits the blockbuster and lands on everybody else, including Motor City Machine Guns. The finish of this was crazy. So Dawkins, there's a spear through the table on Ciampa. Motor City Machine Guns are just watching there. They try to reposition the ladder. Shelley heads up while Sabin keeps guard. Didn't do a good enough job because Gargano comes in with the chair and takes them both out. He starts to climb. Sabin climbs the opposite side. They're trading blows. Gargano gets slammed to the ladder, falls off. Montez springboards on the ladder, but then Gargano trips up Montez and traps him between the rungs, and then hits him with a huge super kick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So then he starts to climb up. Chris Sabin climbs the opposite side. And then Montez climbs up the inside of the ladder.
Yeah.
Never seen that before.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Take out both of them. He sits on the top, takes the belts off. Street Profits retained over DIY and Motor City Machine Guns.
That pop, because they did a really good job towards the finish, making you think this thing was done 4 times.
Yeah, they did.
Each team, I think in DIY twice. Once with Ciampa, where I was like, oh, he's getting it. Then he got taken out. Sabin once, he got taken out. Gargano, he got taken out. And when Tez jumped and everybody knew he was preventing it, that got the biggest pop. Mm-hmm. That got such a huge pop. The right team won. They retained. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was really great. Man, the match was really great. Hopefully this is the thing that really kicks that tag division into something interesting where they actually write some stories behind this stuff.
Well, I still think,
yeah.
I hope with Frax team getting called up, and if they continue their story from NXT, and then having their dynamic and have other teams play off that, that could be interesting stuff.
Oh, and then somebody introduced their prosthetic leg as a weapon as well. Thank you, Cheese Man, for remembering that one.
Yep.
Yeah, that was really cool. But yeah, dude, I still think that the one team that kind of needs a character is Motor City Machine Guns. Last week you came up with a really terrific idea.
Yeah.
They'd be part of the RoboCop universe. Mm-hmm. Have you thought any more about it? Any more ideas that you might have for the Motor City Machine Guns?
If they're going to be Omnicorp instead of Motor City Machine Guns, you got to go all. What was that?
Well, I just did this. It was a very subtle one.
No, you gotta do it.
I just did it right. I did it right here.
No, you gotta do it.
My finger touched the hand.
No, that's the thing. You gotta do it.
I'm burning. I want to know this idea, man. Come on.
Oh, you gotta have some of Omnicorp's latest technology with them to join them ringside, right?
I guess. Sure.
So they come out with some robotic devices. That's the thing.
Like some Boston Dynamic dogs?
Well, that's probably what they would be, but try to make them look more like they were in RoboCop.
You're thinking indie wrestlers, but with that Triple H entrance gear on?
No, I mean you gotta make it look way better than that.
But here's the thing. Arenas aren't like daylight, they can light it properly. Because if you light that Terminator outfit properly, it'll look great.
But you see somebody going out there and doing the robot kind of.
You can do. How about this? What if it's an indie wrestler? Because somebody here says a T1000. You just put a metal gauntlet on.
But that's a different universe. That's not the RoboCop universe.
Are they owned by the same company? Because Blade Runner and Alien are in the same universe.
They are, yeah.
Which is in the same universe as Predator.
Yeah. But I don't know if RoboCop and Terminator are the same universe.
I mean, RoboCop's been in one of the Mortal Kombat games, I think, with other celebrity characters.
Yeah, but I don't consider that really establishing them in the same universe because that's just a licensing deal.
RoboCop crossover into any other universe properties.
Because Curious Corduroy says Terminator and RoboCop have crossed over before.
That's right. It was a comic book. Yes.
Yes.
All right. We're on to something. Anyways. All right. Well, let's move on.
I like keeping it specific to the RoboCop universe.
Fair enough. I like that you're onto something here. I like
What's
that
the other one in RoboCop? Ed 209?
Ed 209.
Yeah, I have a couple Ed 209 to join Saban and Shelley for their entrance.
Like, are they like they're practicals?
Yeah.
They're not just like some dudes in some like green suits.
I mean, preferably you do like the stop motion how they did in the actual movie.
How do you do that live, man? Not your problem, huh? Your problem.
That's for smarter people to work out, not me.
It's too late at night. It's a Friday. Exactly. We don't have to figure all that out. Let's talk about the United States Championship.
This Jacob was another long segment, wasn't it?
Yeah, Jacob Fatu is incredibly over.
Well, he's awesome.
Yeah. That dude is insanely popular.
Yeah,
because he's so awesome.
He's so
knattamean.
So he comes out with Solo, and Solo's trying to take all the credit for Jacob Fatu winning the U.S. title. So it wasn't for me. Jacob wouldn't be here. No one wanted him here.
Somebody says the mystery mass says we had Austin crash an ATV. Imagine an Ed 209. Imagine if somebody dolled up an ATV to look like Ed 209, and he's just racing around the ring like that. That'd be amazing.
That would be something else. So he says, I'm the reason Jacob's champ. I brought him here. So Jacob gets the mic from him, says, let's not get it twisted. I told you I was going to win the U.S. title with or without you. I told you the U.S. title was coming home to the family, which I did. So Texas, look at your new U.S. champ. You see, I know this title makes me America's most wanted. I know this makes me a menace to society, but at the end of the day, get in where you fit in. I'm all gas, no brakes.
Fatu.
Oh,
yeah. Now comes LA Knight.
Oh, man. He's still into this promo, dude.
Oh, boy. So, anyways, yeah, and he basically says at WrestleMania.
Hold on. Here's the thing. He has to do the babyface thing, be like, yeah, I lost, but that happens. Nah. LA Knight shouldn't do that.
I agree 1,000%. I don't know. Look, here. Fatu might be LA Knight's kryptonite. Really, because Fatu is like a no-selling guy as well. Like, what can you possibly throw at Jacob Fatu that's going to affect him like in a promo?
I don't feel like LA Knight saying, Jacob Fatu, I'm really going to kick your keister is going to have much of an impact on Jacob Fatu.
It kind of is like, yeah, it kind of like backfires. It like exposes LA Knight, you know? So anyways, He comes down. He says, yeah, guess what? I guaranteed you're going to eat at BFT. You did. But then you got your hand. It was on the rope. Yeah. And that's when you did that. And then you're able to beat me. Yeah. He was stumbling all over the place. He says, I want to get that championship back. He says, if you don't understand what I just said, even though he spoke perfect English. He says, I want a rematch and I want it now. That brings out Drew McIntyre. I'm like, the fuck is this guy doing in the United States title scene?
Well, it's because John Cena's not losing that title anytime soon. But he framed it as in Cena kind of sucks now. So I want to take on the real top guy on SmackDown, and that's Jacob Fatu.
Well, he says, I was going to challenge John Cena, but Randy jumped the gun. And
he
so
made some reference to Cena not like being.
He does. No, you're right. He does. I just like that. Like another reason he gives is, I was going to go do it, but then you just think like, oh, back in Gorilla, like Randy just ran past him or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So anyways, he says he wants a piece of Jacob as well. Knight says, Knight just like is resting on the ropes. He tries to talk some shit to Drew. That leads to a match between LA Knight and Drew McIntyre. Once again, we get like a DQ here. Drew McIntyre wins technically because of DQ so Solo, while the ref is distracted, hits a spike on LA Knight. Drew realized it and he's like, oh man, I can totally hit a Claymore here. So LA Knight gets back in.
But he's kind of like conflicted about it because of Solo. He doesn't like Solo.
Well, he doesn't like Solo, but he likes winning. So he's about to hit up a Claymore. And then Damian Priest dragged him out. And I was thinking to myself,
the feud was over.
Priest, if you do another match with this guy, you're going to lose that one too. So you need to stop doing that. And then, Priest drags him out. And then, so the match is over. He hits a South of Heaven through the announce desk, which is pretty impressive. And then Knight gets out and he's like, what are you doing? You just cost me my United States Championship match. And then they argue, and then Jacob Fatu comes out of nowhere with just a killer suicide dive.
Yeah.
He starts doing that cool shit. Everybody goes crazy. This guy is going to be bulletproof. Oh, my God. Nobody's like, they can't, a year from now, when he's in there with like Cody or whatever, no, it's not going to go well for Cody.
No.
He's one of those guys. Nobody is going to root against him. Nobody's going to boo this guy.
Yeah, they should have Jacob Fatu beat John Cena.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, Jacob Fatu.
Or Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre gets it off Cody after Cody beats Cena, and then Jacob Fatu beats Drew McIntyre.
I don't know if they're going to be passing that title around that much this year.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Not, I mean.
So anyways, Zelina had a match against Chelsea for the U.S. title. Before that, Zelina has an interview backstage. Byron asked her about the chance of becoming U.S. champ. She said, I wanted this for so long. I want to bring some Latino heat to my match, much like Ray and Eddie, and I won't stop until I have that belt around my waist. She didn't have to wait long because she won this match after Secret Hervis tried to interfere a bunch. At one time, in basically plain sight of the referee. So he throws them out of ringside area, and that allows Zelina hit Chelsea with the code red to get the win. She is new U.S. champion. Her first title win in WWE.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome for her. First singles title. Was she a tag champion? I'm sorry. I just threw that at you. My bad.
I don't know. Look it up.
So aggressive tonight, Larson.
And I meant to include this at the top with the rest of the mid stuff, but I forgot to do it. So we get the bit backstage where Melo's there with the Andre Trophy. And Miz says, you're going to go down as the greatest Andre the Giant Battle Royal winner of all time. That's why I sacrificed myself. To commemorate this, I got you something. So it's the chain with the giant Andre head on it. And Melo says, this means I have a chip on my shoulder and I wear this. I am a giant. Larger than life. I'm the 10th wonder of the world. I am him. And Miz says, you inspire me. I gotta get something off my chest. I'm about to make my moments. And he goes out and gets kicked in the head by Alistair.
So, according to Wikipedia, she was. I'm trying to look at...
Tag champ.
Yeah. Where
Carmella.
Yeah, Carmella. Queen Zelina. Because she won the Queen of the Ring thing,
Did
too.
win Queen of the Ring, yeah.
Or Queen's Crown. It was Queen's Crown. Remember when they had like those... It was like a speed tournament.
Yeah.
They had like those 2-minute matches.
Yeah.
All right, man. You ready to zoom in Alistair Black? We had somebody remind me of that. I had totally forgotten.
Oh, why can't we just answer some questions? We're already like 53 minutes in the show. We do 7 minutes of questions, get in an hour. I can go have my bowl of cereal.
You don't want to just zoom in for like a minute, like a speed round? Just like
you say a minute, it's going to take 5.
Oh, these never take 5. Here, just real quick. Let's see if this is even the right thing here. Hello, Alistair here. I'm so happy I'm back where I belong. In the WWE. Bring me Big E. Ready for him to fight again. I have a question. Alistair Budgeon has a question.
All right, I'll allow you one question.
I wish to know who my first feud will be with.
Well, who do you wish it to be with?
Who I will take my first loss to in WWE.
Oh, it's probably Drew McIntyre.
Incorrect. I've already lost in WWE.
Oh, you got me. Oh, now I know how it feels to be on the other side of that.
See, look at that. Now you got fooled.
Oh, man, that hurts. Oh. 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 All right, I'm definitely ready to call it a night now.
All right, let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and get these 7 minutes of questions in. 6 minutes of questions now, because he just took 5 minutes of questions in. All right, let's speed run these questions, man. All right, first up, Joe the Meme Maker. Would WrestleMania have been better with backstage segments to build future feuds and have legends?
No, better with the TLC match on the card. Main event night 2.
Next, the Studleyverse. What are the 2 biggest possible main events WWE can book to make Evolution 2 must-see?
I mean, Bianca Rhea would be like the top.
What's the second one? Becky versus
Bailey.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, I have a question too.
All right, go ahead.
Sebastian Garcia asked, what are your top 4 favorite movies?
Oh, shit. Oh,
RoboCop, 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 RoboCop.
Oh, man. There you go. Alexander Hernandez with a super chat says, R-Truth should be the one to beat his childhood hero for the title. He paid his dues. Like he said, there are two sides to the story, the heroes and the fan. Yeah, man. I think the crowd would pop huge for R-Truth beating John Cena. Not really sure I see that happening, but that'd be pretty cool. AJ says, since Cena wants to ruin wrestling, should he study Mox matches?
Yeah, I watched the Mox Jake Hager match from a few years back.
Yeah, oh my God.
I don't think they were trying to put on a purposely bad match, but they succeeded in doing so nonetheless.
They were definitely trying to ruin wrestling. Ignacio says, what's a better film, The Shining or Doctor Strangelove? Oh, I'm a much bigger Strangelove fan.
It's not even close, and it's Doctor Strangelove.
Strangelove is outstanding. He says, thank you so much. My son and nephew were loving Kubrick and Orson Welles.
Awesome.
Good to know.
Awesome. Berto here asks, with Cena having so little time left, do you think there's any chance we get any feud that goes longer than a single pay-per-view cycle? Probably not.
No. Well, for Cena?
Yeah.
No. No, it's going to be challenger.
Yeah.
Blake Whitehouse, would you consider Drew going for the U.S. title a step down? Yes. Even though he says his last title he needs left to become a Grand Slam. No, Jacob Fatu should have that until he's a champ. He beats Cody. Or Drew. He beats Drew, who beat Cody, who beat Cena.
There you go. That makes Jacob Fatu the lineal undisputed champion then, right?
Correct. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
We're in agreement there. The Beings says, with the way they were telling Cena's final title run, who should take the title off Cena? Should it happen around SummerSlam or Survivor Series?
Should be Cody, and then Drew cashes in his Money in the Bank on Cody.
And then the following SmackDown, Jacob Fatu wins the title.
Following SmackDown. Let's see here. Darius the Great says, who would you have as members of a WWE version of House of Black? Now they House of Black replace him with a dog.
Yeah, that's right. You haven't seen Dog, though.
No, I think House of Black isn't a thing anymore.
No, it's not. It's Hounds of Hell now.
Hounds of Hell, yeah. But are they still a thing? I just see Brody and Singh. Oh, Murphy's injured, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
And Julia Hart's like not on TV hardly ever.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what that's all about.
It's a bummer because her theme's outstanding.
Why isn't dog wrestling?
Well, traditionally, Steve, dogs don't wrestle in the wrestling ring.
Bears do.
On occasion.
Yeah.
Not on a weekly basis, however.
Need more of that. Probably less of that. Those poor bears. They're probably drugged up.
What I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Anyways, who should
Indie wrestler in a bear outfit, also wearing an Ed 209 outfit.
There you go. Now we're
on
talking.
an ATV.
We're talking. So, anyways, what's the question? House of Black.
House of Black for WWE. Well, it's just his family. It's Zelina, and then they bring in Andrade.
Sure. I was going to say Tatum and Gigi from NXT.
Oh, they're kind of goofy, though. They're, like, funny.
All right.
They're funny goth, not... but what's her face? Who's the creepy one in NXT also? Back before she was the sleepy person?
Oh, Wendy Chu?
Yeah, but before the way...
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. The character's name.
May.
Yeah.
Name.
Yeah.
Something. It was cool as fuck. Is what
Yeah.
it was. Yeah. Asuka. Oh, could you imagine Asuka?
Yeah, Asuka.
In a House of Black? That'd be
That'd be
cool. Mr. Sinister has it here, yeah. Let's see here. Quickly.
Future Shock says, Steve, any update on your thoughts on LFG?
No, I haven't seen any episodes. I just watched the first two. I'm sure Bubba Ray is killing it, though. Giving really great advice. I think BJ will probably end up not winning the thing, but he'll have his redemption story. That's my guess.
Gotcha. Whenever you say BJ, I always think of Righteous Gemstones.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
My goodness.
Well, that's what it means. You've never heard that before?
Of course I have.
About Howard Johnson.
Yeah, I know what that refers to, yes. Mm-hmm.
That's going to do it for this show today. Thanks,
You're trying to get me, and it's not working this time.
Oh, man. That's going to do it for the show today. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till